I never thought that the game I love so much would eventually be the reason that I had my first ever surgery. But here we are.
Hello. So this is Future Stanley coming to you to talk about my injury. I meant to record a video that led up to my surgery, and I took some pictures and some video without audio. I just forgot to talk and blog about it. So I'm just coming to you now to kind of tell you how the injury occurred, what I did up to my surgery, and then catch you up to speed. What happened was I had a full patellar tendon tear. The injury happened, I was playing basketball at my local church. When it initially happened, I fell to my side. I knew there was an issue. For me, my experience was my kneecap slid to the complete side and was just sitting there. And luckily for me, there was a med tech who also played basketball with us who ran over. And, we all thought that it was just my kneecap had popped out of socket, right? So he started to slightly bend my leg to try to pop it back in. But when it didn't move back in, then we knew there was a problem. So I had to have two guys stretch me essentially out and turn my leg, which then slid my kneecap or my patellar back in. I had to leave my car. I had to get a ride home. At home, my wife's brother is a surgeon, orthopedic surgeon. So, we reached out to him. We thought it, like I said, we thought it was just my kneecap had popped out. Now, keep in mind, I'm in no pain. I didn't really feel pain unless I put pressure down on my leg or anything. But as long as my leg was straight, and I mean straight, I felt no pain. So we came home. We thought that it was just my kneecap had slid out of place and that, everything would be fine once the swelling went down. So I iced. And guys, I iced every hour for a full day, trying to get swelling down and get an idea of if I could put pressure on my knee. But I knew something was wrong. So later into that next day, I was trying to do leg lifts and things like that, and none of that was working. So the entire day, I sat, on my knee, icing it, trying to get the swelling down. And even though the swelling was coming down, I still felt very unstable. Like if I got up to go to the restroom or anything, I still felt horribly unstable on my leg, which made me think something else was going on. Something more serious was going on. So I started, I went down my Google road, right? Everyone does it. We started Googling our symptoms and everything and trying to figure it out. I also talked back with my wife's brother, who's the orthopedic surgeon. And we figured out, because I told him that it felt like my kneecap was higher, or my patellar was higher. It felt like it was almost towards my thigh, and I kept trying to push it down. Now, me being unexperienced with medical, I didn't know what that meant, and he immediately associated that with the patellar tendon tear. So then he asked if I could leg lift, and when I tried to do a leg lift straight up, I couldn't move my leg straight up. It was almost like I could move my thigh, but my lower leg just was dead. At that point, we knew that it was a patellar tendon tear. Knowing that it was a tendon tear, I had to get an appointment with a orthopedic surgeon. So I booked that, got that set up. It was, I want to say, so my injury occurred on a Wednesday evening. I was in to see an orthopedic surgeon on Friday. On Friday, I went to see them, and I can tell you that moving around the house with nothing aiding you or helping support that leg is difficult. It is really difficult. I had an office chair. I would sit in my office chair and just slide and drag that leg. When I got to that appointment, they brought out a wheelchair. I stuck my leg up on the wheelchair. We went in, did the appointment. I had multiple scans done. So I had a MRI, I had a CT, and then I had x-rays in the office. So at the surgeon's office, we did x-ray. The x-ray confirmed that it was a patellar tendon tear, but They did a ultrasound kind of in the office, a small one in the office, just to also confirm. Once they confirmed that it was a patellar tendon, we needed to book surgery, and then I needed to get two other um, scans done. One, I needed to have another full ultrasound scan done, and this one was my surgeon was great. He was very thorough. He wanted to make sure that there was no other issues that he was gonna be surprised by when he went into my knee. So he wanted to make sure that I didn't have any like blood clots or anything like that in my leg. So we did an ultrasound to confirm that there was no blood clots in my leg or in my opposite leg. And then we did a MRI to give them a really good visual of the leg. The MRI takes about 20 minutes. The ultrasound took, maybe another 20 minutes or so. They were at different offices, so I had to get those scheduled pretty quick, go do those, and get myself prepared for a pre-op appointment. Now, I can tell you guys that I was extremely nervous. I mean, when you have an injury like this, it immobilizes you. You start thinking about all the things you won't be able to do, all the movement you won't be able to make, the time of recovery. Your entire life is about to change for the better part of a year. You may get mobility back earlier, but realistically, you should anticipate like a good amount of time of healing. So I was nervous. I have a family. I have 2 kids. I have dogs. It's just like, how much of their life am I going to miss because I can't go do stuff? And it's tough. It's tough to deal with. And I think a support system helps. If you have it, you're blessed, right? Because the support system gives you the confidence you need to go through with it. And yeah, I know it's not ideally something that's life-threatening, something that will take you out of the game for 20 years, right? But in a short term, you're really like affected by it. You can't do things on your own. You can't spend a lot of that time with family, outdoors, running around, things like that. You miss that time. And you have to adjust. You have to adjust your life to your injury, which, is difficult. But I had a really strong support system that was here to help me do that. We talked it through. We worked through different changes that we would make at the house, things to still kind of try to keep me involved once I was, recovering. But in this moment, if this is your moment, you're feeling like you want to load yourself up with as much information as possible. So for me, that injury happened. I got my appointment. They gave me a brace. When they gave me the brace, I immediately felt better. I felt like I could put weight on my leg because it was straight. I could use my crutches. I felt like I could kind of get around a little bit again. I still needed to take it easy because remember, I haven't had surgery, but at least you can be a little bit more engaged with what's going on in the house instead of just isolated or stuck to one room like I was that first night after. Lead up to surgery, I was nervous. I've never been under the knife. I've never had a surgery. So having surgery scared me. The idea of going under a blade, being knocked out, scared me. But what else do you do? Like it's do it or never walk the same. So buckle down. All right. Any questions or concerns, any of that kind of stuff that I could try to help with, I'm happy to help with. I'm looking at working with my surgeon and, looping them in on some of this stuff, and maybe they can, advise or help or aid in this process as well. So all the luck to you.